Who from the audience had ever felt tearfulness, short of temper, fullness of sadness, and difficulty sleeping? Suppose you raise your hand. Well, if you keep your answer for yourself, it is also possible that you're a person with depression that is already diagnosed or that you're living with it without diagnosis. Depression is categorized as one of the mental illness that starts at the age of 14 years old. As a principal target both genders, it could be females or males without discrimination. It means it doesn't discriminate race, religious, or sexual orientation. As a result, the ratio in the United States is that from a group of 5 people, one of them will be certainly having depression. It could be already diagnosed or without the diagnosis already. Since 2018, when I was in high school, for more than a month, I wasn't able to sleep properly. I sweat in the nights, and I start feel fear of my decisions and feeling in everything that will be happening in the future of my life. That is a series of depression episodes. Comprehend and incorporate different ways of helping a person who has depression and will be able to identify it and be able to help that person properly will be the following steps that will be following. What is depression and symptoms? What are the environmental things that might increase the depression episodes? For example, the COVID-19 pandemic, and how to help someone with depression. So, what is depression? Depression is a debilitating mental illness that covers more than 40% of people in the United States. The cause of the illness is unknown until today. Psychologists and research notice that an imbalance of the patient's brain. It comes from the CDC. Some symptoms relate to depression, or also known as MDD, major depression disorders. The symptoms are lack of appetite. It means the person will start losing weight. Lack of pleasure. It means to enjoy a hobby or sexual attraction. Flat affection. It means the person doesn't relate with another person because they didn't have feelings to each other. Tiredness and memory loss. And feelings of worthlessness. It means that the person doesn't feel that it's worthy for someone else. This last conduct to major suicide episodes. After understanding more about what depression is and the impact on the human body, we can continue with the factors that increase the depression episodes. As a result of 2019, the COVID pandemic had a lot of bad sides for the community, making people to stay more at home because out of quarantine or because they already have the disease. As a result, the ratio of statistics of people having more constant and severe episodes of depression increased to a possible point. In this slide, we can note the percentage of people having suicide episodes and also the average of people getting into the both sides of females and males severe episodes of depression. As people had been before going outside and distract about their ideas of depression, this take out because of the pandemic. According to doctors from Massachusetts General Hospital, the pandemic had the following factors: increasing the depression rate of people because of loss of the community, meaning they weren't able to go outside and talk with someone else, reduce the access to caregivers, it meaning to go outside and go to the psychologist, talking to a teacher, or talking to someone else that have the same problem, and fear of getting sick. Answering your question about how might be able to help someone with depression or helping myself with it. The first thing is that we need to have a caregiver environment in our families. The families needs to have more information about how to help people with depression, although in the family is nobody with it already diagnosed. But in the same time, the person will be able to introduce different ways of treatment and ask for help to someone that might have depression, so they will be able to go to the doctor and talk to them and have a treatment from the different levels of depression that the person might have. At the moment of being able to identify someone with depression, there are also call centers to call for help. There are the following numbers. It could be from the National Helpline Network, that is 1-800-suicide 7884-2433, and also the Mental Health Service Administration is 1-800-662 help 4357. Consequence, symptoms, and helping material for someone who is in the process of depression episodes we're explaining today. We learn about what is depression, what are the environmental things that might increase the depression episodes as COVID-19 passed these 2 years, and how to help people with depression or yourself. Depression is not something that can be spread as an infection disease. It is also not an easy or weak point for someone that is with this depression mental illness. As people already have the idea that a mental illness is something that can cause you to suicide all the time, to have crazy ideas, or to hurt someone else. In reality, depression, although it is a mental illness, is not the same level as another like schizophrenia or something else. Learning and enjoy living with your good and wrong sides is not easy. For that reason, I want everyone here to learn how to love themselves, with or without any problems.